So there's this lady called Hanifa. Hanifa was exposing corruption in the ASAL regions. You know, the ASAL regions, we call them the arid and semi-arid areas, where they receive a lot of money in terms of devolution, CDF. They also, over and above those two devolved functions, they receive equalization grants. Because of the fact that they are far-flung regions, but they have never done anything. Remember, these counties in the ASAL regions, they don't have obligations like water, you know, street lights, garbage, drainage. They don't do anything. Yeah, you go to those towns, they are literally dead, and these guys have received over 2 trillion shillings. Or what have they done with that money? They've come, they've been able to gentrify Nairobi, you know, Pangani, you go to Isli, you go to South Sea, you go to Kileleshwa, all the high rises which are coming up of late are from these guys, because they are able to bribe the journalists to project themselves as if they are, I don't know, they have business acumen. There's no acumen. These guys are just stealing devolution money, which is why any time now, and it started during the 2011-2012 period, where leading prominent individuals, Jeff Koinange, Bob Kolimo, Jinadine Karaoke, they launched the Kenyans For Kenya, where we were raising money for counties that were still receiving the CDF. So in the same light, these people who are projecting the country in negative light, because they are accepting donations, handouts in exchange for, you know, dragging the country's name in the mud that we are still the dark continent dependent on handouts and philanthropic interventions. You understand? They are the same people who are bribed with 1,000 shillings, 500 bob to vote for people who will squander their money. So will other Kenyans keep on shouldering the burden of these people who deliberately squander their voting right so as to vote in thugs, so as to elect thugs? No. People now, devolution has shown us that corruption is universal. It doesn't care who is the president or who is the what. Every county right now is mad in corruption. No, there is no governor who can show you a single thing. It was so horrific to see them celebrating the Devolution Conference. We are talking about 4 trillion, no single legacy project anywhere. Yeah, I saw the Kisumu governor launching a new office for, I don't know, the lands, I don't know what, instead of launching things like hospitals. Because you remember there was this kid who had a medical incident and later died from Maranda School. The mom had to leave Nairobi, go to Kisumu, try and get the kid from school, and then now took him to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. Why can't you tell us in Kisumu or in that region, where do we have a referral hospital of the stature of Moi Teaching and Referral? You understand? So the devolution has brought out the worst. We have seen that our problems are manufactured, and bad governance, poor electoral choices remain our threat, the threat to democracy, the threat to turning Kenya into another Asian tiger. So Hanifa started exposing ASAL, still saying ASAL, and it was good. But the moment when I saw the Twitter cartels are the same people, the same characters, you know. Some, they call themselves Twitter A, others call themselves, I don't know, Chokora Twitter, others headed with Akina Boni and the likes. The moment I saw them retweeting her, I knew it was an end, because these guys are industry plants. They are plants. Their work is to disrupt momentum, threatening the status quo, threatening the establishment. You understand? The other wing is also just there for monetization, for just running hashtags on behalf of, you know, the corrupt political establishment. So the moment I saw, I knew that they were retweeting her not because they liked her content. They wanted to make her famous, and now all the attention moved from her exposés and now to her. And the moment it went to her, there were now personal repercussions where she started receiving threats, her family, you understand, things of the sort. So you know, this is the problem, is that the people who are undermining democracy, the people who are undermining our progress, are still amongst us, our age groups or even younger. they are purporting to be progressive people, but in their minds they are just boomers. So boomer, in as much as the people born between 1940 and 70 are retarded in their own right, they have also bred a new generation of people who are mental impotents like themselves. So you have to be cautious when you're interacting and engaging with these characters. We were somebody who is trending now is MC Jesse. MC Jesse is trending because of a video he did preaching about the wondrous love of his wondrous love of William Ruto, and that go on any mutaona. Just watch the video and how pathetic it is. Just you'll be very
the fifth president of the Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto. Nasikia raha. This guy bana atachapa kazi. Ngojeni muone Mungu akifanya kazi.
Ngojeni muone Mungu akifanya kazi. I just hate how these guys are always ready to juxtapose religion and God whenever they are perpetrating their mental impotence. Because I saw women MPs or women leaders celebrating Kawira Mwangaza's victory in the Senate, where she escaped another second impeachment. And now they started saying it's because of God, it's because of God. And then later we are seeing in the media that it's a call from above. A call from above is code name for bribes. The senators who are bribed to turn a blind eye on the transgressions associated with Kawira Mwangaza. And now everyone, why are they ready? Because this is hypocrisy of their highest order. I told you all of these, you have to make a commitment to yourself and to your families that you're not going to re-elect anyone, because we are tired of these people you hiding behind God just to mask their incompetence, just to mask their or obfuscate the fact that they are not even planning to deliver anything in their promises. The promises, we didn't draft those promises. We didn't draft the Kenya Kusha manifesto, but them, they are ready to hide behind the church. You saw now yesterday Mutahingunyi telling President Ruto, listen to Jackson Ole Sapit. You see, Jackson Ole Sapit is also a plant. He's a mole. He's a vessel of the system. So, and he's been using the corrupt Anglican Church to perpetrate Kenya Kusha's lunacy. So, and we were talking about the other day, the ACK has become the most corrupt church in the country, because I saw when we were researching about the people who have been digging boreholes, the SBA in Taita Taveta have been digging boreholes for the local communities there. Do you know what the ACK have been doing? They went full-blown commercial. Now they are building flats. They are building, I don't know what. They are now commercial entities. They no longer do things that they are purposed to in pursuit of service to mankind. They stopped that. Now they are just money minting operations. So when you see Mutahingunyi trying to call out William Ruto using Jackson Ole Sapit's name, it's a scheme. It's a tactic. So we are in terrible times. We are the people who are supposed to be our oversight. The people who are supposed to be taking care of us have become now wolves. They've become wolves guarding lamb. So I don't understand this greed, because these people are not broke. These people are not. They are just happy to see people suffering. To see mass suffering. That's their joy. That's the boomer joy. We were talking about boomers. Boomers have never, and I saw there's a lady called Eve Minor on Twitter, and she said, she hadn't connected it together, and then she realized boomers are a bunch of idiots. These guys will never mentor you. They'll never give you business. You'll see all the people, like now there was a big charade in State House that they're talking about pending bills to be paid. Now, who are the people who are not paying service providers? These boomers. Boomers are jealous people. They just know about stealing. Now, because they used all the playgrounds. Now they've grabbed them. All the public utility land has been grabbed. Now they've turned them into commercial entities, flats. And those are the same people who are glorified by your churches. You see, you need a mental recalibration and understand that everything around you is not what it seems. Everything is a facade. I saw a lady talking about laws which are being they are now working on laws which are meant to suppress industries. You understand? Your members of parliament who are going to shed crocodile tears in State House saying that Ruto needs to intervene as regards to fuel are the ones who pass the finance bill, and they are the ones who pass all the bills without reading them. All your MPs, you understand? Which is why no MPs should be elected. You understand? So now there are 3 bills which I saw right now. It is from Shina Raikundalia. In the last few weeks, I have come across 3 excellent examples of how to stifle an industry whilst lining your pockets. Number 1, Kenya Robotics and Artificial Intelligence Bill 2023 to set up an AI and robotics society to regulate the sector. So anyone who wants to carry out AI and robotics needs to be licensed by this body and pay a fee. And number 2, Institute of Designers of Kenya Bill 23 to set up an Institute of Designers. Anyone who wants to design without a license subject to a fine and 1 year imprisonment. Number 3, ICT Practitioners Bill. This one wants all ICT practitioners to be registered with imprisonment and fines for those who fail. This bill has been blocked 4 times and apparently is back again. Yeah? So we are talking about the corruption. We are talking about how you guys, when it gets to election, I don't know what gets into your heads, and I'm telling you, that's why you need to lock boomers at home on that day. You need to tell them we don't need their votes, because in 2027 the narrative will start changing. You'll start seeing those same useless bastards called boomers. You'll start seeing them saying, afadhali huyu mwizi tunajua, better the thief we know, better the devil you know than the angel you don't. You understand? We know them and we know their tactics. That's why boomers have to be blocked. They are trying now to bring all these digital IDs, delaying, increasing the fees, because they don't want young people to participate in the civic process. They don't want you to be one of the people who are going to make a change in the 2027 election. So they already know they have failed. They know they haven't delivered anything, and they are still continuing with PR charades. Again, I talked about the thing of State House. How now it was a big event that President Ruto is launching a committee which will look into payment of bills. People who are owed money by the government, you worked, you have not been paid. Now they've created a committee to look into whether you will be paid or not. Can you imagine that kind of nonsense, that kind of those shenanigans? You understand? You're creating more bureaucracy, and just to get these contracts and these tenders, these guys had to go through bureaucracy. And these laws were created by who? IMF and World Bank. Who are creating these laws now? These ones I've just read for you is still IMF, World Bank, and foreign people, because they want to have an underhand. They know you Kenyans, if you're given the opportunity, the platform, the conducive environment, they know you are going to take a quantum leap, and now they have to use legislation to block you. Now, will you continue voting for these useless bastards? Will you re-elect these same people? You understand? You have to now be serious. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. This is serious stuff. You have to now take charge of your political destiny. Yeah, this is not a time for you now to start listening to comedians and entertainers. And we've told comedians and entertainers to focus on your craft. There is a reason why South African musicians can play here, or DJs can play here, and you can't play there, because you are not focused. You don't want to perfect your craft. You only want to get the clout so that you can be relevant in politics. You can be another Chipukizi, another Jalas, another KJ. Another Big Ted. You focus on your craft now. We don't want to hear your unsolicited and third-rate political opinions. We are tired. You guys have been on the payroll of the Uhuru regime. Now you're on the payroll of the Kenya Kusha regime just to promote their imaginary achievements. No, we are tired of you. This whole establishment, all of you are compromised. The activists are compromised. We can see you on Twitter. The people who are purporting to be the people's watchmen, those are the people who are cutting deals with government at night. They are mau by day, and at night they are with Muzungus and the government, then your oppressors. So we are tired of all these double standards. We can see two-faced individuals everywhere, because there's so much, and it's not like you are lacking. You're just greedy. You just thrive in in chaos. You just thrive when you see other people suffering because you think that you will derive relevance from now undermining and being the only one. No. So, and if you start engaging your MPs, if any of your MPs pass these bills, you make sure we are going to go and challenge them in court. But if they pass these bills, you tell them by 6 a.m. they are going home. It's not a drill now.